Well, social media is social because of people. People make it social. That's the biggest distinction between social media and broadcast media. So when broadcast media was a one-way vehicle for people or institutions mainly to send a message out to passive recipients. We sat on our couches and watched TV. Social media connects people directly to one another in conversations. Those conversations can be video. YouTube is actually a conversation, or on blogs, or on Twitter, or in chat rooms. But what makes it social is the ability of anybody to participate in conversations and have them go two ways. Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. Even if you think of social media in its most basic form, which would be email. Most everybody has an email account. Most everybody has a cell phone. They're very inexpensive tools that are ubiquitous here and around the world. The individual platforms, so is the question is Facebook here to stay? Well, it'd be hard for 500 million people to find somewhere else to have the same conversation with all of their content. But I don't know if all of those individual channels will stay. But the kind of digital technology that enables large numbers of people to connect with one another and share information is absolutely here to stay. So we're at a very interesting point in time. 3-4 years ago, when I came out with my first book, Momentum, there was a great fear and reluctance on the part of organizational leaders, and the question to me was, do I really have to do this? I really don't want to. Don't make me. More so the last 2 years has been an acceptance that it's here to stay, an understanding that the episodes like raising money for Haiti after the earthquake last January are so important and so powerful that they're here to stay. And now the question from organizational leaders is, how do we do this? Where do we dip our toes in? Where do we get some traction? How much time and effort is this going to take? So it's a whole new set of questions. But first, in order to engage with social media, nonprofits really have to overcome a set of fears that they have that are real about losing control of the message and the messenger, about letting go of plans, opening themselves up, maybe not looking as professional as they feel they once did. And organizations really need to wrestle with those fears. You can't skip that step and jump right to the doing without wrestling with, what does this mean for us as an institution, as people, to begin to engage and take down the walls by using social media. So social capital is the connective tissue between people on land. That's what Robert Putnam was writing about in Bowling Alone, the loss of social capital in communities. When people aren't connecting with one another in person, they're not building trust and they're not building reciprocity, which is I do something for my neighbor with the expectation that at some point in time that neighbor is going to do something for me. Social capital online happens in much easier ways. So you reconnect with your childhood friends on Facebook, and that's built on the memory of all of those relationships that you had and the trust that you had with them. And you build new relationships online as well. Social media is so important because it's very inexpensive to build social capital online, and it lasts over time. What we're seeing is these incidents of people connecting with one another, sort of bouncing around against one another on all of these channels, lasts over time. Even if people don't do something today for your organization, maybe they're not responding to that request for donation, they're there. You know where they are. You've built some trust with them. They can be accessed and activated in the future for your cause. I love social network architecture. Do you remember Tinker Toys as a kid, right? It had the round part and then the sticks that connected them to one another. What's so important right now in social change is that the round part, the nodes, which are organizations or people, don't have to be, for social change, formal organizations. Just the individuals who can create a movement overnight using a blog, using Twitter, using Facebook, can raise money, can galvanize a protest for something. We call these people free agents in our book. And Amanda Rose, who helped to create Twestival overnight of thousands of people around the world raising money for charity water, at no cost anywhere. There are no bricks and mortar. There are no institutions that are needed. I think in terms of social change, those free agents are so important, and organizations need to understand that they're one node in these large networks that are other organizations and free agents, and they have to learn how to interact as part of that ecosystem.